Very good morning. I would like to thank KSOS for the opportunity. The presentation is on IOP targets and medical management algorithm. Any aim of glaucoma treatment is to preserve the visual function of patient for the lifetime and also maintain the quality of life. We have to establish a diagnosis, set a target IOP, initiate the treatment, and do not forget the follow up. Most important. Why should we treat the IOP? Because that is the only thing that you can which is the only treatable risk factor and which is known to cause glaucoma. These are the associations of IOP that lead to progression and disc damage. Extent of IOP reduction is always a common dilemma. How much you should reduce the IOP is not known. This cutoff IOP of 21 millimeter of mercury is not a clinical or evidence-based normal, but it is a statistical construct. Actually, ideal way is to do a baseline DVT for everyone, but that is not practical. 30 to 40 percentage of POAG patients at presentation might have a normal IOP. More than 75 percentage of chance of missing the highest IOP if you are seeing a single IOP between the 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. in any open angle glaucoma. So these parameters, it is just not one single IOP. The mean IOP, peak IOP and IOP fluctuation are very important. Inter-visit IOP fluctuation of more than 4 millimeter in median of 3 visits is a very it is an independent risk factor for progression of glaucoma. So IOP fluctuation is very important. Target IOP is defined in many ways. One of the most important definition is by the World Glaucoma Association, where it is identified that treatment also causes problem. An estimate of the mean IOP at which the risk of decreased vision related quality of life due to glaucoma exceeds the risk of treatment. For our clinical purposes, the highest IOP in a given eye at which no clinically apparent nerve damage occurs, that is our target IOP. So how do you set a target IOP? Setting depends upon multiple parameters. If you have an advanced glaucoma, if it is a young patient, if the untreated IOP at presentation, if the IOP is low, if you have additional risk factors like pseudoexfoliation, myopia, if the rate of progression is fast, if it is a one-night patient and all, you have to have a really low target IOP. If the factors are on the other side, you can have a lenient IOP for that matter. So how do you achieve a target IOP? You have many methods, threshold or cutoff value where you have a value for that. 18 less than 18 for early, moderate less than 15, severe less than 12, advanced less than 10. Other method is percentage reduction. Mild to moderate, you reduce by 20 to 30%. Advanced, you have to reduce by 40. NTG, you reduce by 30%. Ocular hypertension, it is 20%. And then there are formula based. But there is a survey of ophthalmology graph that shows sometimes you need a reduction of 60%, which may not be possible by simple medications alone. So you have to target based upon the patient. This is a Ramanjit Singhota study which shows that based upon the based upon the stage of glaucoma, it is again 15 to 17 for early, moderate 12 to 15, and severe 10 to 12. So based from this, we have understood that target IOP is just a guideline. It is a range than a number. So this also provides safety from unnecessary aggressive therapy. So if you have a mild glaucoma, you don't have to have a very significant or severe drop of IOP, and you don't have to subject the patient for with multiple medications. Target IOP is a dynamic value. You have to reset up and down based upon the patient's response. Considerations at initiation of treatment is the philosophy of glaucoma treatment has to be always kept in mind. Preserve the visual function and quality of life. The goal of medical management is 24-hour control of IOP with minimum concentration and minimum number of medications so that minimal local and systemic side effects. We have to always remember medicines come with systemic and local side effects. The selection of initial drug depends upon the target IOP. Compliance, efficacy, safety, affordability, and persistence has to be considered. We also have to remember that the patient should have vision till the last period of his life, and the therapy hence has to be lifelong. We have to make sure of the diagnosis because there is a chance of missing angle closure and pseudoexfoliation. we perform what is called unilateral drug trial. So if the medicine is well tolerated and effective on the IOP, that is when all is well, you continue the treatment. If the target IOP is not reached and then you can consider second drug. What happens if the medicine is not tolerated? Then you have to switch the medication. But before switching the medication, you have to make sure the patient is compliant with the medication and adherence has to be made sure. If the second drug is acting, some part of it is acting, that is, if efficacy of first choice of monotherapy is less than 15% or not well tolerated, you have to switch the medication. You should not add medication at that point. If it is partially effective, if the effect is more than or equal to 15%, but the target IOP is not achieved, that is the time when you should add another medication. Which are the drugs that has to be chosen? It depends upon the efficacy, tolerability, and cost of the medication. First lines are usually prostaglandins and beta blockers. Second line comes alpha agonists, topical carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. Third lines are the pilocarpines and systemic carbonic anhydrase inhibitors. We also have Rho kinase inhibitors nowadays. The first line medication, we usually start on the worst side with the most potent single drug. The first hit has to be the hardest hit. PGA is the most preferred in most of the patients. If target is 30 to 35% IOP reduction, PGA, the importance is that we can switch between the class of PGA. If the patient is not responding to travoprost, he might respond to bimatoprost or latanoprost. In unilateral glaucoma, we don't prefer PGA because the raccoon eyes, the pigmentation around the eye is not preferred bilaterally. More so if it is unilateral. Beta blockers, if cost is a consideration, but if the patient is on systemic beta blockers, the effect is much lesser. This is again by Ramanjit Singhota. If it is less than 25 millimeter of mercury, prostaglandins or beta blockers alone, and if you look for 15% drop. And if it is 25 to 30, you might have to add another medication. If it is more than 30, you also start Diamox and probably you also start the second medication on follow-up. If the effect is less than 15% and it is established that medication works, reserve that medicine to be used in combination. Choose drugs always when combining medications, choose medications with different mechanism of action. PGA with beta blocker or topical. So that means whichever is acting on the trabecular meshwork and also the uveoscleral outflow. Consider side effects and contraindications, regular follow-up to detect progression, and if there is a progression, escalation of treatment is mandatory. Pre-perimetric or early treatment, early functional defects and IOP is at target. Initially, you follow up that patient for 6 monthly, and if you find that the patient is stable, you need to follow up at least yearly. If the patient is stable and if the patient has moderate glaucoma, 6 monthly. If the patient has severe glaucoma in the better eye, it has to be 3 to 4 monthly. Always reconsider your medication. Always look for an option to withdraw unnecessary medication. Always remember OSD, medication side effects and the compliance cost and all is a problem for patient. We should not be fixing our eye on getting the target IOP. Confirm progression even if the office of our IOP is at target level. These multiple factors, diurnal fluctuation, missed angle closure, nocturnal dip of blood pressure, sleep apnea is something that is very important coming up these days. This hemodynamic crisis, neurological pathologies, all this has to be considered. Additional IOP reduction of 15%, please consider. NTG, you have to give 30% reduction of IOP. What is maximum medical therapy? There is no consensus of number of medication. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is maximum? No idea. But maximum medical therapy is the minimum number of medication, minimum concentration that provides maximum lowering. Tailored to individual patients, the concept is moving from maximum medical therapy to optimal medical therapy because at additional 1 or 2 millimeter of mercury IOP reduction may not be justifiable for giving additional drops. Whenever possible, give fixed drug combination because ensures compliance, better safety because lesser preservatives and also have additive effects when given together. IOP is the only non-causal and treatable risk factor. Establish and achieve target IOP. Target IOP is dynamic. Revisit it as and when necessary. If efficacy is less than first choice monotherapy is less. If efficacy of first choice monotherapy is less than 15%, switch. More than 15%, add. Minimal medication, maintain quality of life, look for adverse events. Always consider the next stage, laser or surgery timely. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Jayashree. Since the first three topics are on intraocular pressure.